It's been a while since I last did a book review on this channel, so today we're going to be doing a book review. I am going to be reviewing the book Wings of Starlight or Starlight. So this book I've actually had in my collection since last fall, I think, and I wanted to read this book now because the last book that I finished was the book Caravel, which I did a whole video on, and let's just say that that book for me was way too dark. And I honestly don't understand why that's classified as a young adult book based on what's in the book. So that book was just too dark for me. And after reading it, I was like, I want something that is lighthearted, fun, and I also want something that's just like a good palate cleanser. And that's kind of what this book was. I will say though that I was disappointed that wasn't able to give it a higher star rating because I really wanted to give this book like 5+ stars, but I only ended up giving it 3. And the reason why is I felt like it was good, but then it turned out just okay, and then it got good again. But I felt like this book carried on way too long. Like, there are some books you read and you're like, oh, I wish this never ends. And then there are other books you read and you're like, this should have ended like 200 pages ago. That is how I felt about this book. This book had in total 392 pages, I think. And I wish that it had just been around like the 300 mark because there was really no need for the extra. There was really no need for those like additional 92 pages because I think it could have been summarized up in 300, to be honest. So the whole reason why I chose to read this book was obviously because of the palate cleanser aspect to it, but also because I loved Tinkerbell when I was little. And I'm going to be honest, even though I'm an adult, I still love Tinkerbell. My mom loves it. My grandmother loves it. It's just one of those really cute, fun movies. And I like watching it during each season that the movie corresponds to. So I love reading books about the backstories to popular Disney characters. And because I loved Pixie Hollow when I was a kid, I was like, let's go ahead and read this because I saw many people on Instagram and they're like, if you were a fan of Tinkerbell when you were a kid, like you're probably going to love this book. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. This book, I will be honest, it really disappointed me because like I said, it just got really slow for me. The whole point of this book is basically the current queen of Pixie Hollow is trying to train Queen Clarion, who is the princess in this book. She does become queen at the end of it. But the whole point of this book is Queen Clarion basically goes on a quest to the Winter Woods because in Pixie Hollow, there are these things called nightmares that are running rampage through Pixie Hollow. They are attacking fairies. They don't know what's going on. They don't know how to stop it. They don't know how to protect the fairies. And there's this book in the Winter Woods that is basically like the keeper of fairy knowledge. And that book supposedly has the answers to what's going on. But you're not supposed to cross from spring to winter. And if you watch the Tinkerbell movie, Secret of the Wings, that's the whole primary aspect to that movie. This book explains why you cannot cross over. So she wants one of her friends to make her a jacket that can protect her wings. And so she goes into the Winter Woods and she meets Lord Mallory, which is in Secret of the Wings. And they basically end up, you can tell, falling for each other. Now, is there romance in this? Yes. Is it explicit? No. Is there any smut? No. It's just a few kisses, but there's nothing in this that I would say is inappropriate. And I am very particular about the books I read. I am very picky about the books I read, and I will be completely honest. If I think a book is too heavy in that department, I will say it. And this book, to me, there was nothing in it that I thought was inappropriate. So basically, he takes her to the keeper of the books and they have to find out what's going on with this, but they have to keep going back and forth or she has to keep going back and forth into the seasons because she doesn't want to damage her wings. She doesn't want to get sick or injured, but she ends up getting somewhat attacked by these nightmares and they don't know what's going on. But the queen that's currently trying to train her to be queen, she's mad at her because she thinks that she's reckless and she thinks that she's not being the proper queen that Pixie Hollow is going to need. But she has a secret, and there is this whole story about why you can't cross and all these like things about Pixie Hollow that the queen never told her, and she wants to know the truth. And she gets mad that this queen has kept this from her. But the current queen's attitude is, you are the queen, you rule this Pixie Hollow, you care about the fairies, you want to protect them, but you don't want to get too attached. And Queen Clarion has the exact opposite. She wants to take care of the fairies, but she also wants to have more of a kindness in her heart. And that is something that the current queen doesn't think. She thinks that she's too soft, I guess you could say. And basically there's a lot back and forth. But would I recommend it? Yes. I think it's a very good book if you're a person that does love Pixie Hollow, Tinkerbell, or you have someone that loves to read those books, or you have someone that loves to like watch Tinkerbell. I was like obsessed with Tinkerbell when I was a kid. But like I said earlier, I do give this 5 or 3 out of 5 stars because I just think that it carried on way too long. I did have moments when I was reading this toward like the 60% to like 80% of the book mark. I had moments when I was like skimming and I was like, stop skimming, because it just wasn't holding my attention, because like I said, it did get slow, but then it picked up at the end and it was a very good ending. Unfortunately, it was kind of like a sad ending, but it was a good ending in the sense that she became queen. But Lord Mallory, when she goes at the very end, she goes to try to figure this out, she ends up getting hurt, and he ends up having to rush her back to spring, and his wing breaks, which is the reason why you're not supposed to go to you're not supposed to cross in between seasons, because if you're a spring fairy, your body is equipped for the warmth. If you're a winter fairy, your body is equipped for the cold, etc. Overall, I would recommend this, like I said, if you like something very lighthearted, if you love reading books that are inspired by Tinkerbell, I would definitely recommend this. Like I said, there's no spice in it. And yeah. There is apparently another book coming out by this author. I think it's later on this year. I don't really remember. I just remember seeing a few people talking about it. I'm thinking I might read that just because like I said, I really liked Tinkerbell when I was a kid. This book also, I would recommend if you need a palate cleanser. Like if you just read a book that was very heavy or, very dark, and you just need something more lighthearted, fun, a little bit of a mystery, I would recommend giving this one a go, because that's what you're going to get. So yeah, I hope that this video was enjoyable, and I hope that this video inspired someone who loves Tinkerbell to read this book if they want to. So yeah, that is it for this video.